Okay, back to working on this Gator. What we're going to do, or what I'm going to do now, is take the bed off. And what I've already done is I've already taken off the 2 hinge bolts on the back of the bed, and I've also taken off the pin that holds on the electric actuator. So next I'm going to go get the 4066 and I'll just set up a tripod, and hopefully the forks actually go wide enough and fit on the outside of the bed. If they don't, we'll have to kind of lift the bed up and slide it back onto the forks. So I'll go get the 4066 and we will go from there, get the bed off. I think I'm just going to store the bed outside, angle it up to where all the water drains out of the back, all the ice and everything, and it'll just stay there over the winter. And then next spring, we'll put the bed back on. That'll give me time to fix the engine and whatnot, because we really don't need it over the winter. So yeah, set the camera up and we'll take the bed off. Alright, so sit there most of the winter. I've got the front a little higher than the rear. That way any water or stuff doesn't just sit in there. It all should flow out the back reasonably well. Because anytime, once it starts snowing and freeze up and everything, on a good warm day, sunny day like today, even though I'm in short sleeves today, it should melt any of the ice and stuff in there. So we'll leave it there. Now we can turn our attention to actually getting the engine out. Okay, with the bed removed, you can clearly see a lot more of our problem, or my problem. If you look down in there, you can see all the diesel fuel and everything else. So yeah, got a big problem there. But the good news is let me go into the shop and I'll show you the good news. So here's the really good news. Recently, I was digging through a box of parts. And it was prompted actually by trying to find that fuel return fitting that goes on the injectors that I broke or bent when I was trying to take the lines off of the Gator. I was going through that box and I remembered that I had these injectors out of a 430. Now that's a 3TN-A72UJ engine, 20 horsepower, out of a 430 on a garden tractor, but they use the same injectors. These 2 engines use the same injectors. I looked up the parts. From what I remember, I want to say these injectors had about 1,100 hours on them, but they worked perfectly fine. So not a problem there. It looks like I don't remember doing that right there. Trying to remember where I bought. I think that 430 came from Florida. I can't remember. Anyway, fortunately for me, I bought 6 of everything that I needed, because I buy more than I need a lot of times when it comes to parts. I bought 6 O-rings, 6 nuts, things like that. So I have 3 left, so we will be using those. So I will get these. They're pretty cleaned up already. I'll get them a little bit more clean up the threads and everything. And that way, probably before I pull the engine, we'll go ahead and change the injectors out. And then once I get the injectors changed out, make sure it runs, then we'll pull the engine, replace the motor mount, stuff like that. So, you know, moving forward on the Gator very slowly. Kind of looks funny without a bed. Maybe this winter, shopping around, I might find a better bed than the one I have. I don't know. I'm not really looking for one, because generally I think Gator beds are like $500 when they're used in decent condition, and I just don't want to unload that. But finding these 3 injectors, if they work, it's going to save me whatever I said in the last video, about a little over, well, close to $400. So that's kind of exciting. So I think that's probably enough footage for this. Thanks for watching, and we'll keep plugging away at it.